Compound interest is the reason ordinary people become wealthy over time. It's not about earning more money, taking big risks, or finding secret strategies. But most people don't understand compound interest, and because of that, they underestimate it completely. In this video, I'll explain compound interest in simple terms, why it's so powerful, and why starting early matters more than starting big. Compound interest is when your money earns money, and then those earnings also start earning money. Instead of your wealth growing in a straight line, it begins to grow faster over time. At first, the progress looks slow. That's why many people ignore it. But over long periods, compound interest creates massive differences between people who start early and people who don't. Let's use a very simple example. Imagine you invest $1,000 and earn a 7% return in 1 year. At the end of the year, you now have $1,070. In the second year, you don't just earn interest on the original $1,000. You earn interest on $1,070. And the year after that, you earn interest on an even larger amount. This process repeats again and again. Your money grows and then it grows on top of itself. That's compound interest. Time is the secret ingredient that makes compound interest powerful. The longer your money has to grow, the more dramatic the results become. Early on, growth feels slow and unimpressive, but later, growth accelerates rapidly. This is why people who start investing early often end up far ahead, even if they invest smaller amounts. Time matters more than timing, and time matters more than how much you start with. To really understand the power of compound interest, it helps to compare two people. Imagine one person starts investing early in life, contributing small amounts consistently, while another person waits many years before starting, even though they are able to invest larger amounts later on. At first, the difference between them doesn't look dramatic. In fact, the late starter may even appear to be ahead for a while. But over time, the early starter's money begins to grow faster. Not because they invested more, but because their money had more time to compound. What makes this so powerful is that compound interest doesn't reward effort equally across time. The first few years often feel slow and unrewarding, which is why many people underestimate the value of starting early. But as time passes, growth accelerates. Eventually, the early starter can end up with significantly more money, even if they invested less overall. His gap exists for one simple reason: time. Compound interest rewards patience, not urgency. And starting earlier gives your money more chances to grow on top of itself. Most people don't miss out on compound interest because they make one big mistake. They miss out because of small decisions repeated over time. Some people never start investing because they believe they don't earn enough money, even though starting small is exactly how compounding works best. Others begin investing but stop too early because the results don't feel meaningful at first. When growth is slow in the beginning, it's easy to lose motivation and assume it isn't working. Another reason people miss out is impatience. Compound interest requires long periods of consistency, but many people interrupt the process by pulling money out, switching strategies, or reacting emotionally to short-term market movements. Every time money is removed, the compounding process is weakened. It's similar to planting a tree and digging it up every few years to check its roots. Growth can't happen properly without time and stability. One of the most misunderstood ideas about investing is the belief that you need a large amount of money to benefit from compound interest. In reality, consistency matters far more than intensity. Small amounts invested regularly over many years often outperform large one-time investments made inconsistently. This is because compounding rewards repetition and time, not perfection. You don't need to make flawless decisions or perfectly time the market. You simply need to build the habit of investing and stick with it. Over time, those small, consistent actions begin to stack on top of each other. What starts as slow progress eventually becomes meaningful growth, and that growth continues to accelerate the longer it's left alone. Compound interest isn't impressive in the short term, and that's exactly why most people overlook it. It doesn't offer excitement or quick rewards. Instead, it quietly benefits those who are patient, disciplined, and willing to think long-term. The real power of compound interest shows up after years of consistency, when growth suddenly feels much faster than expected. You don't need to earn a high income to take advantage of compound interest, and you don't need to make risky decisions. What matters most is starting early, staying consistent, and giving your money enough time to grow. Even small amounts, when given enough time, can turn into something significant. If there's one idea to remember from this video, it's that wealth is usually built slowly, then suddenly. Compound interest is what creates that suddenly. It rewards those who stay the course while others give up too soon. In the next video, I'll explain why most people stay broke even when their income increases, and how small mindset shifts can completely change long-term financial outcomes. If you want more simple, beginner-friendly explanations like this, consider subscribing.